Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to dive much deeper into one of the most important and practical topics in English grammar that will immediately improve your speaking fluency, writing accuracy, and overall confidence in communication. We are going to fully understand the use of on, over, and above. Now, at first glance, these three words might look very simple. You may even feel that you already know them. But here is the truth. Most English learners use them in a limited and sometimes incorrect way because they only learn basic meanings and do not understand the deeper logic behind them. By the end of this lecture, you will not only know the meanings of on, over, and above, but you will also feel the difference naturally. You will be able to choose the correct word without thinking too much, just like native speakers do. So let us begin this journey in a very clear and practical way. Let us start with imagination. Imagine a table in front of you, a book resting on it, a bird flying over it, a picture frame above it on the wall. Three different positions, three different relationships in space, and three different prepositions. This simple picture is the foundation of everything we are going to learn today. Now let us begin with the word on in a deeper and more complete way. The word on is one of the most frequently used prepositions in English. Its core meaning is contact. When something is touching a surface, we use on. But that is only the beginning. On is not just about physical touch. It also represents connection, dependency, involvement, and even time in many situations. Think about your daily life. You wake up on a bed, you sit on a chair, you place your phone on a table, you write on paper. All of these actions involve physical contact. But now let us go deeper. We also use on for transportation. For example, when we say I am on the bus or she is on the train, we are not talking about physical contact only. We are talking about being inside a system of movement. That is how flexible on becomes in real-life English. We also use on for devices. For example, the TV is on, the mobile is on, the computer is on. Here on means active or functioning. So now you see on is not just a preposition of place, it is also a preposition of state. We also use on for time. For example, on Monday, on Friday, on the 10th of May. Days and dates always take on in English. We also use on for topics. For example, a book on science, a lecture on grammar, a discussion on politics. This shows the subject or area of focus. Now let us make this even more natural by expanding with real-life examples and usage patterns. First example, the keys are on the table. This shows simple physical contact. Second example, she is on a phone call with her friend. This shows active communication. Third example, I will meet you on Sunday. This shows time reference. Fourth example, he gave a speech on education reform. This shows topic. Fifth example, the children are on the bus heading to school. This shows travel context. Now let us make on more alive through a short natural conversation. Imagine two friends talking. Friend 1 says, "Where are you right now?" Friend 2 replies, "I am on the train coming home." Friend 1 says, "Are you on your phone?" Friend 2 says, "Yes, I am on a call with my brother." Notice how many times on appears naturally in just a few sentences. That is why mastering on is essential. Now let us move into common mistakes learners make with on. One very common mistake is using in instead of on for transport. Many learners say I am in the bus. While this is understandable, the more natural expression is I am on the bus. Another mistake is saying on Monday night when talking about a specific event in casual speech, which is correct, but learners sometimes overuse on where it might be better in certain expressions like at night. Now let us move to the second word over and go much deeper into its meaning. The word over is very powerful because it carries movement, transition, coverage, and even control. At its core, over means something higher that moves across or covers something else without necessarily touching it. But over is also emotional in storytelling and expressions. Let us begin with physical space. When we say the bird flew over the house, we imagine movement from one side to another above the house. There is motion, direction, and distance. When we say she put a blanket over the child, we imagine covering and protection. When we say the bridge goes over the river, we imagine structure and crossing. Now let us go deeper into abstract meanings. Over can also show excess. For example, it is over 50 degrees today. This means more than 50. Over can show control. For example, the teacher has control over the class. This means authority or influence. Over can also show completion. For example, the game is over. This means finished. Now let us expand over with natural and detailed examples. First example, the airplane flew over the mountains during sunset. Second example, she spread a blanket over the sleeping baby to keep him warm. Third example, the conversation went over my understanding. This means it was too complex. Fourth example, the manager has authority over the entire department. Fifth example, the water spilled over the edge of the glass. Now let us make over more natural with a short emotional story. Imagine you are standing outside during rain. You open your umbrella and hold it over your head. The rain falls over everything around you, but you stay protected under it. This simple image shows how over works in real life. Now let us move to common mistakes with over. Many learners confuse over with on or above. For example, saying the book is over the table is incorrect in most contexts. It should be the book is on the table. Another mistake is using over when above is more appropriate in formal descriptions. Now let us move to the third word above and explore its deeper meaning. The word above is more formal, more precise, and more static compared to over. It mainly shows higher position without movement or contact. Above is often used in writing, academic English, comparisons, and descriptions. When we say the picture is above the sofa, we simply mean higher in position. When we say his score is above average, we are making a comparison. When we say the information is given above, we refer to earlier text in writing. Now let us expand above with deeper explanation. Above is not about movement. It is about position and level. It is calm, stable, and often used in explanation or description. Now let us go through detailed examples of above. First example, the clock is above the door in the hallway. Second example, the helicopter is hovering above the building during rescue operation. Third example, her performance is above expectations in the final exam. Fourth example, the instructions are mentioned above in the document. Fifth example, the temperature rose above 30 degrees in the afternoon. Now let us make above more natural with a small visual story. Imagine you are standing in a valley surrounded by mountains. The sky above you is wide and open. Birds are flying above the trees. Clouds are moving above the hills. Everything above you feels distant and higher in space. Now let us compare on, over and above in a very clear mental model. On is contact and surface level. Over is movement, covering, or crossing. Above is higher position without contact or movement. Let us bring this to life with one simple situation. A cup is on the table. A hand moves over the table while pointing at something. A painting is above the table on the wall. Same environment, three different relationships. Now let us go deeper into advanced usage patterns that will make your English sound more natural. On is often used in daily routines and fixed expressions. Native speakers use it without thinking. Over is often used in storytelling, descriptions of actions, and emotional expressions. Above is often used in academic writing, instructions, and comparisons. Now let us practice with a more immersive real-life scenario. Imagine you are in a classroom. Your notebook is on the desk. The fan is above your head. A paper flies over the students because of wind from outside. Now listen carefully to how naturally all three words fit into one situation. Now let us explore some extended natural expressions. On the phone means actively talking. On fire can mean literally burning or doing extremely well. Over the moon means extremely happy. Over time means gradually. Above all means most importantly. These expressions show how deeply these words are connected to English thinking. Now let us reinforce everything with a final long set of natural examples. On examples. She is on a video call with her friend. The laptop is on the desk near the window. We will meet on Christmas Day. He is on duty today at the hospital. There is a stain on my shirt. Over examples. The plane flew over the city skyline. She wore a scarf over her shoulders. The water ran over the floor after the bottle broke. He leaned over the balcony to see below. The discussion went over my head. Above examples. The painting hangs above the fireplace. The stars shine above us at night. His results are above average in mathematics. The rules mentioned above must be followed carefully. The helicopter remained above the building during rescue. Now let us slowly bring everything together. If you remember only one thing from this entire lesson, remember this simple idea. On means touching or fixed contact. Over means movement, crossing, or covering. Above means higher position or level. Now let us end with a final reflection. English is not just about memorizing rules. It is about understanding images in your mind. If you can see the position of things clearly in your imagination, you will always choose the correct preposition naturally. So the next time you say a sentence, pause for a second and ask yourself, is it touching, is it moving, or is it simply higher? That small habit will transform your English forever. Thank you for staying till the end of this lesson. Keep practicing these words in your daily life, and you will notice your confidence growing every single day.